Okay, can everybody hear me?
Is that better? Look, so Jeremy was just telling us about his first experience about the hotel, and I did a little bit of research about where he stayed. He stayed in a hotel called the Prince Tower
Prince
Hotel,
Tower
which is
Park,
very
yeah.
close to Tokyo Tower, which is a pretty cool hotel. Did you just stay in the one hotel?
Yeah, we stayed in one hotel then the whole time we were there.
Okay, and do you think the location that you stayed was a good one?
It was very central, so yeah, uh, it was good because we could travel everywhere in Tokyo. And what I wanted to see mainly, as I was only there for 2 weeks, was pretty much around and near Tokyo.
Okay. Um, what was close to your hotel? Do you remember?
Um, the Tokyo Tower, just out the window. Um, Roppongi Hills was or something like that. Was it called Roppongi Hills? Does that
Roppongi
sound familiar?
Hills.
Yeah, that was about maybe half an hour's walk.
Is the
Uh,
volume better now? I've put it quite a bit higher now.
can you hear me?
Yeah. So, actually, the area where you stayed in is called Bunkyo. It's basically Tokyo is divided into many different wards, and the Bunkyo ward is where the Tokyo Tower is. It's also the very last stop on the monorail. No,
Shinkansen, no?
como se dice? No, monorail. The monorail. So it's very convenient because you can basically go straight from Haneda Airport on the monorail, and the very last train stop will pretty much lead you to the area where Jeremy stayed. I think, if I
Yeah.
remember right. Anyway.
Well, traveling was quite easy. We did go to a few places. We went to Kyoto. We went to the Ghibli Museum, which is in Mitaka. Shinjuku, we went as well.
So, do you remember Akihabara?
Yes, I do.
Because a lot of people. Do you have a preference between any areas in Tokyo?
Not really. I enjoyed pretty much everywhere I went to. They each had their own specific charm, really. I liked Akihabara because of the anime stuff that was around and the electronic stuff. And it was, you see it a lot in anime. So it was
Did you see
interesting to be there.
any maid cafes?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Didn't go into any of them. But there was a lot of maid cafes and a lot of maids advertising maid cafes with placards standing in like
Look, we
every
have
corner of
somebody
every
here
street.
saying that you were lucky to get tickets to Ghibli Museum.
Oh, I booked them well, well in advance, actually.
I'll tell you something. I've tried twice, and twice I haven't been able to get tickets.
It's like you couldn't we actually no, we didn't book them well in advance. One of the first days we were there, because you have to get them from 7-Eleven, from the actual shop, and they have like this vending machine thing in the corner of the 7-Eleven. And we went there, and it was all in Japanese. We couldn't understand a word of it. And the shop assistant actually, we asked him, look, we want to buy tickets to Ghibli Museum, and he sorted it out for us. So we got the tickets there. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if that's
Um, it's. I think it's quite kind of there's different ways of being able to get tickets for the Ghibli Museum, and I think that. But the same that I have an echo, so I'm gonna try and fix that. Okay, is that better with the echo? But anyway, what I think that one of the main ways of getting tickets is actually from the convenience store, from like 7-Eleven, which is kind of crazy, that you can go to basically Japanese convenience stores are proper convenience stores because you can buy anything from the convenience store, from sending your luggage to basically buying tickets to Disney. So it's sort of very convenient. There's cash machines there. You can even buy underwear in a 7-Eleven.
Used underwear. That's in other places.
Well, used underwear. Maybe we can do another program on used underwear.
that's
another time.
For another time.
So yeah,
like 50 people just left the chat.
It's okay. It's fine. Lawson, that's another one. So Lawson, there's this debate whether Lawson or 7-Eleven is better. I'm a big 7-Eleven fan. Basically, Lawson is like another convenience store, but I am a 7-Eleven. Oh yeah, and Family Mart. The one thing that they do all have in common, though, I would say, is that they all have like a really good selection of drinks. Like milk, for example. Japanese milk is the bomb. It's amazing. It's pretty incredible, actually.
I don't think I drank any milk whilst I was in Japan, to be honest.
No. Seriously. Well, I drank a lot of milk. Whenever I go, it's one of the things that I try to get. Milk. Why do we stream so late? Well, there's a few reasons for it. The first one is I was looking at my analytics, and the large majority of my, like, the people that watch my channel, my subscribers and the viewers, are either from Asia or from the USA, like a large majority. So I was looking at the analytics, and I tried to find a time that would be like more working towards them. But saying that, there's no reason why we can't try another live stream at a different time in the future. Like for example, now in Japan and in Asia, it's probably like early morning, so people might be able to catch this like nice and early whilst they're having breakfast or commuting or whatever. And in the States, it's the early evening. So that is the main reason, but we could try another time. Why not? I see. Look, I've prepared a game for Jeremy. Let's see how this works. We're going to talk about a few different things, but I think that now that we've sort of got things working, we can try this game. I've got a few questions.
Can everyone hear us?
It's called Ninja Shooting Stars. Like Ninja Monkey? Ninja Shooting Stars, right? Basically, all you need to do is answer the question as quickly as you can. I've got like maybe 15 or 20 questions. They're mostly, I would say, mostly Japan based, although I've put a few in there to sort of like throw you off guard. So are you ready?
No.
For this? All right, let's see. I hope that we can all hear Jeremy when we do the quiz, and I hope that you can hear me also, or else it's gonna be a problem. Right. Actually, Jeremy, tell us a story whilst I set up one little thing.
A story. Okay. I don't know if you guys heard me earlier when I was saying when I arrived in the hotel and everything was very fancy, and these attendants in kimonos and these guys in like suits, they took us up to our room, like two of them actually, a guy in a suit and a lady in a kimono, and they let us in or whatever, and we went in and packed our stuff, and we knew that you didn't really tip in Japan. That's a thing I'd been told, that they're not used to tipping. And so anyway, we didn't tip the people that took us to our rooms, and we unpacked, and then we were like really tired from the jet lag, so we had a nap. But
Yo, Mr. Smith is in the house, by the way.
But we didn't wake up, so we actually fell asleep all afternoon. We were planning on going out and exploring, and then we hear a knock on the door in the hotel room, and I get up, I stumble half asleep to the door. I open up, and this small Japanese woman as well, dressed in a kimono, and she's like, she couldn't speak English, and she was trying to tell me that she had come for turn down service, and I had never heard the term turn down service before in my life, which is apparently when they dim the lights in the hotel, they pull the sheets off your bed, and they leave a little chocolate on the pillow.
I think you've told me the story before.
And I was like, what? And she was all scared, like, turn down service, and I'm like, what's that? And she couldn't understand what I was asking. Like, I'm sorry. She started panicking, and I'm like, okay, bye. And she left, and I just went back to sleep. And then in the morning, I looked up what turn down service was, and I was like, oh, okay, I see. First day in Japan.
Yeah. So let's see if this game works. Are you ready? So just as a little reminder for everybody, I've got some questions. They're basically one-word answers. Answer as quickly as you can. And you cannot give me another answer. You have to give me one of the two options I give you.
Oh, so there's multiple.
For example,
choices.
I might say hot or cold, and you gotta choose one.
Okay.
Right? Shooting ninja stars, right? Let's go for this.
Well, I can. By the way, I don't look sick, it's the lighting, okay? It's just, we tested this during the day, and there's a weird shadow being cast on my face.
We're just hoping that you can hear me. Hey. Okay, so a few questions. Are you ready? Manga or anime?
Anime.
J-rock or J-pop?
J-rock.
Tokyo or Kyoto?
Tokyo.
Japanese curry or Indian curry?
Japanese curry.
Okay. Somewhere around there, so far. Italian pizza or Japanese pizza?
Both. No, Italian.
Japanese garden or Japanese park?
Park.
Flip-flops or trainers?
Trainers.
Hello Kitty or Doraemon?
Doraemon.
Pokemon or Mario?
Pokemon.
Bus or train?
Train.
Ninja or samurai?
Samurai.
Dog or cat?
Dogs.
McDonald's or Burger King?
McDonald's.
Shinkai or Miyazaki?
Miyazaki.
Tokyo Disney or Disneyland Paris?
Disneyland Paris, if you don't count Disney Sea. If not, then Tokyo.
Oh, the voice asking question is low. Okay, maybe for next time. First time we do it. So it's the first time that we do this. So obviously there's going to be some technical difficulties. To be honest, I'm just happy that the fancy introduction screen worked. So somebody's saying that we have an echo. Where's the echo? Next time we'll do like a little tryout before proper tryout. Anyway, so Jeremy has given me a few little videos, and one of the things that he said he wanted to talk about was, what was it, Edo Wonderland?
Yeah, if you like samurais and ninjas and the Edo period in Japan, which is like this period of the samurais and stuff, it was quite a fun theme park. Well, a small theme park, but a theme park.
Yeah, I've got some like footage here. The first one that I have, I think, is somebody playing a drum.
Yeah.
Was that like part of a show or something?
Yeah, there was this like theater place that was actually quite dark there. I captured that with night vision camera.
Okay,
and
well, pretty good.
It was very, very dark there. And they had this show where there were samurais fighting on stage, ninjas, and lots of different instrumental shows like this guy with the drums, which was my favorite part.
Cool. And I've got another video here, which is basically like a ninja show.
It's a very anime-like ninja show. You got the guy with the red hair there.
Oh yeah, it's true, yeah. And then I've got another one that you sent me. Oh, these are like some ladies in kimono doing a parade, no?
Yeah. They were bringing the geisha. You don't see it on that clip, but there's another clip I have that they actually bring the geisha out in like this stand thing, and these were just shows that were around the park that you could see. You could also dress yourself up. They actually rented out kimonos and different
Did you do it?
types of. No, it was quite expensive and nah.
No.
I'm sure you would have done it for one of your videos. You can take the plunge.
Yeah, well, you know what? I've been in a few situations where I've been tempted, but because I've been by myself, I felt that it's kind of something that you do with a group of friends or with someone, but not by yourself, no?
Yeah, but this is like a sort of theme park, so
What do you think, guys?
everybody's dressed up.
I should dress up by myself if next time I go somewhere? I don't know. I'll see. Maybe. Yeah. Actually, where is Edo Wonderland?
It's in Nikko.
In Nikko? Because
Nikko.
I actually prepared some footage myself of Nikko.
Nikko is a very nice place. We didn't actually stop there. We went in the bus all the way from Tokyo to Nikko. But there were waterfalls everywhere on the trip there. That just in the bus, it was amazing, and we would have liked to
Another screen, which I didn't want to play this one, but it's actually a screen in Kyoto. You know, we talk about Kyoto. Geishas now. I've got some real geishas now, which you can see. Yeah, so there's two of you now, Jeremy. What have I done? Okay. Basically, I was saying that a lot of people see music lower, please. Okay, music lower.
I think that with this
A
new
lot of
program
people
that you
basically think that when they see geishas walking through Kyoto, that they're a real geisha. But actually, there's not that many geishas left, and it's quite rare to see a real geisha. And usually you only see a geisha mainly in the evening when they go to work. So whenever somebody actually asks me how can I see a geisha, I always say to them, go into Kyoto, into the streets of Gion in the evening, and you might be lucky and you might be able to see them on the way to work or on the way after work. And I want to remind you of a few important things. They are real people. They're not mascots. So, you're not gonna go up to a random person and start touching them. Which, surprisingly, I've seen happen, and it's cringy. It's very cringy.
It happens in all places, really. You see the tourists going up to the guards in the palace guards in London and standing in front of them and doing things to them. I mean, these are people with jobs in their hometown. You don't really go up to them and bother them.
Exactly, no? So, if you see a geisha or a maiko or a gaiko, because a maiko and a gaiko are basically like a trainee geisha.
Different evolutions.
Yeah, different evolution. Actually, the more evolved the geisha becomes, the less makeup they wear. So, probably you've seen a maiko when you see that sort of geisha sort of thing, person.
Michael Jackson.
But here I was gonna put that thing again. That geisha. Let's see if it plays now.
Music down.
The music down.
Music lower. I think when you've done the settings for each individual window in this program, it messes around with the volumes of our mics.
But it's very strange because there shouldn't be any music right now.
No, that was from before, from the other video.
Okay. Alright. So yeah, you can see here now. I hope you can see that. I'm just gonna check. Oh, I see that music I cannot change. Well, I don't think I can change. Or maybe I can. Yeah, I can change it. Yeah, there we go. I put it down. So basically, those are some real geishas that, as I was walking through the streets, I saw. And talking about Kyoto, a lot of the footage I'm going to show now is old footage from one of my first trips. Because if I was to show you footage now, like from last year, it would just be a crowd of people. Because it's become so popular, no? Did you ever go to the Golden Pavilion?
I'm not sure. Is that like the shrine up in the mountains?
It's a shrine up in the mountains, yeah.
I think I sent you some photos and videos from where I went. The thing is, one of my Japanese friends took me, and I wasn't sure where it was until she, I'm going to take you to the shrine.
I mean, there's a few very, very sort of famous sites in Kyoto. One of them being the Golden Pavilion. Unfortunately, nowadays it's just a crowd of people, and you have to line up to get the picture, no? To get the photo. I think it's still worth the trip. if you have the time. But there are other things that I would suggest that you see, no? Another one that I was
I don't
going to
think
show
they
you.
can hear. I don't think they can hear our voices. Only the
Can
video.
you hear our voices? I think they can hear our voices. Can you hear our voices?
Try now. When the video ends, ask again.
They can hear the voices, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, but they've just
Sorry.
checked. Another thing, in Kyoto is a bamboo forest. And the bamboo forest, I'm just going to put it now. That day that I went, I just was so hot. Okay, thanks Katie's notes. Because basically this is the first time I'm using the software, so you're sort of like our guinea pigs, really, to be honest. So thank you very much for letting us know of anything that is working or anything that isn't working. Just trying to get, you know. So that's the bamboo forest, a really cool place. But in the summer, it is so hot. It's crazy. Last video you played was okay for video mic balance. So basically, now I know that I need to put the volume completely off of the video. Mira, going back to what you said, we were talking about Nikko, which is where Edo Wonderland is, no?
Yeah.
Did you actually go to Nikko?
No. As I was saying, we saw the Edo Wonderland on a brochure, and I thought it was cool, so we just booked a trip to the park. And on the way there, on the bus, which the bus in itself was really cool as well. We got some footage there.
Oh yeah, I've got some footage of the bus. Let me just put that one on. If I find.
On the way there, we could see a lot of scenery, nice scenery, waterfalls, big mountains, and it looked like a really nice place, but it wasn't advertised in the brochure, just the theme park. So it's one of those places that we would have liked to maybe stay there for longer.
Because I've done it the other way around. I've been to Nikko and I've seen Edo Wonderland in the brochure, but I haven't been.
Right.
So you've been to Edo Wonderland, but haven't been to Nikko, and I've done it the other way around. So I'm going to show you a few really cool things. First of all, let's try and get the volume the volume correct. Hopefully it works. The first thing is, this is a view from my hotel room of the lake where Nikko is, in the area is, and it was absolutely stunning, as you'll see now in a moment. It was freezing. It was like 0 degrees. There was snow in the mountains. It was perfect. I mean, I was so happy that I actually stayed there, no? But it was freezing. Really cold. But this is the kind of the areas of Japan that I really like to visit. And the lake also. I'm gonna just put the lake now. How do I change the sound of the lake? So the lake, also very beautiful. Walked all around most of the perimeter. I even went on like a sort of pirate boat, trip that takes you around the lake. It was really beautiful. And then you mentioned the waterfalls that you saw, no? So I also went to the waterfall, which was really cool. And I actually woke up like at maybe 5:30 in the morning, so that I could fly the drone
Right.
where the waterfall is, no? because I'm very conscious of people and I don't want to spoil their experience. Drone can be a little bit loud. I don't want to like fly a drone for this idyllic place, no, when people are taking photos and spoil their experience. But I really want to take drone footage, you know? So you'll see it now. There it goes. I mean, it's pretty impressive, really. I mean, seriously, it's one of these places that I will go back to, and it's so close to Tokyo, maybe an hour and a half by train. It's really really beautiful. The train ride is really beautiful, also, no? So it's worth the trip. And now that you've told me that Edo Wonderland is also worth the trip, it's like a no-brainer, really. You know, you could stay in Nikko, like near the lake, the waterfall, and then go to Edo Wonderland and get away from Tokyo, no?
I said theme park, but think about it, it's not like it doesn't have attractions, rides, and stuff. It's just like things were back in the old samurai days in Japan.
See, it's
you have like archery,
a recreation thing, no?
like a recreation. You've got like old time archery. You've got like people around crafting things. I actually
Let's see, I'm gonna
bought
try
like a
and put
letter.
the volume up.
I think they can hear me now. No? Can you hear me now? Something germs. Yes.
Yeah, I've been to something sort of similar to Edo Wonderland in the south of Japan. There's a little place that was one of the first sort of, I think it was the first port that allowed visitors, foreigners, that basically the emperor opened only a little part in Nagasaki, it was, to allow foreigners in, and they weren't allowed further than a certain area. And the area is really strange. I don't have any footage of it right now, but it's really strange because basically in a Danish fashion. Like all the houses are like Denmark.
I've watched an anime about that port.
It's really really weird.
I don't know what it's called. But
And
it's a really
everybody was
popular
like
port.
it's like a museum, but everybody was dressed up and recreating, you know, like samurais and stuff.
There's definitely a Studio Ghibli movie about that port, and I can't
Joey
remember what it's
says
called.
that they don't speak a word of English, and it added to
yeah.
the experience.
We went. They had this restaurant, which was like an old traditional Japanese restaurant, small place. The owner would be sitting there with a bandana on, and he had this grill, and he was like making yakitori. And
Go in.
you know, they had this menu, and it was all written in Japanese, everything. And we were like, "So what do you have?" And he's like, "Complete Japanese, just Japanese, and in a dialect, like old time dialect." So
But
it was
do you think that
impossible
adds
to
to the
understand.
experience?
Well, it felt like we had gone back in time, really. So yeah.
Or do you think it hinders the experience? Because I know that sometimes people sort of, oh my god, I'm not going to be able to communicate. You know,
Really,
like,
I don't know. Everything, you didn't really have to ask a lot in the place in general. It's not as if you just walked into places and did things like they gave you this archery thing and you just did archery, or you sat
hey,
down.
Andy Stubbs. Nice to
and
see you. Well, nice to read you.
Do you read me? Do you read me?
Hold on.
So anyway, yeah, it adds to the experience because it's not really, the experience is being in the place, you know, feeling like you've gone back in time. And they had all these streams all around the houses, like these trenches on the outside of the houses with carp swimming around. You could literally bend down and touch the fish and feed the fish in the streams. So it felt very authentic. And then every once in a while you'd hear like a horn or whistle, and you would see these ninjas jumping on the roofs of the buildings, and then they would jump down to the stage and start fighting. So it was, for me, it was a very enjoyable time.
We have actually we have somebody called Andy, who is a total legend. He's one of my subs. He's from Australia, and I met him last summer. He followed me around the Pokemon Go event, and he doesn't play Pokemon Go. And we had a drink with Drew, with another YouTuber, so it was pretty sweet, actually, pretty sweet. And Andy is also a lover of Japan. He's traveled extensively through all sorts of different parts of Japan, and I'm sure that he would be able to help you out with all sorts of things. But translation apps are good, and I actually think one of the top things that I tell people that they should have is Pocket Wi-Fi, so that they can connect to Google Translate and Google Maps, because that will.
I went in 2008.
Oh my God!
There was no Wi-Fi. There were no phones. There was no translation apps.
It's crazy.
It was all old school. Like what are those books called? Lonely Planet books, where you'd go like, "Watashi wa genki desu ka?" You didn't know what you were saying, so yeah.
Yeah. I also think that going to a country where you don't quite understand things can be a lot of fun.
Unless it's something like urgent and you're trying to find something and nobody speaks your language, and then it's quite scary.
Let's see, I've got a few other videos here that I had prepared. Let's see if I can find them. Wait, you were gonna say something about Disney. You were gonna say something about the parades in Disney.
I sent you photos as an example, if you want to. Anyway, I've been to Disneylands in the States. I've been to Disneyland in Paris. I've been to the one in Tokyo.
Jeremy, first of all, let's put things into context, okay? Jeremy has 2 kids. Two little kids. So that is not the reason why he goes to Disney, by the way. He goes to Disney because he loves Disney.
So anyway, I found it because normally in parades, right? in parades anywhere, not only in Disney, normally you have to rush there to find a good spot, and you have to stand at the front and put your children on your shoulders so they can see, and then you're messing it up for the guy behind you, and it's for me it's quite a stressful experience, really, and I don't enjoy the parades as much because of that. But in Japan, we got there and everybody sat down. Everybody just sat down on the ground. So the kids would go to the front, sit at the front, and everybody, all the adults, would sit as you went back, so everybody could see, because the stage, the parade, the floats are all above. So from down there, you can see everything. And I thought that was quite, considerate.
I mean, I've been to Disneyland Disney Sea in Tokyo, but I never stayed for the parade, and maybe I regret it now, to be honest.
Disney parks.
You made space, no?
Yeah. We did like a day in Disney and a day in Disney Sea.
I went to the shop, by the way, to buy myself some beers. But the queue, because of the lockdown, was so bad that I've literally had to go into my cupboard and see what I had.
I've got water. It's on the dark side.
It's a bit of hard liquor.
Cheers.
Cheers, water. Mizu.
Oishi desu.
It's so sweet and so strong. Cheers. Pocket Wi-Fi is the bomb. It's true. We have Andy and Sarah basically saying how Pocket Wi-Fi is the bomb. And I tell you something. Some people have bought the SIM cards, but you cannot compare it because Pocket Wi-Fi is so much better. Seriously, so much better. I think anyway. Because I think that the SIM cards sometimes have like a little bit of like a data limit, no? A cap. And if you use it too much every day, they slow you down, and it's sort of... Japanese people are very polite. Actually, I'm gonna tell you a story. Story time. Actually, I should have like a jingle, no? For like story time.
Story time with Mark.
Story time. Jingles. So, I'm gonna tell you a story. I got ill. I was walking around Tokyo for like 2 days with a friend, and I didn't want to spoil things for him. So I just sort of like went along with things as you do, no, like not to spoil things. And I ended up quite sick with a fever, with an earache, an echo. I'll go back to the split screen, but that seems to be working. Okay. So basically, I went to the pharmacy and I said to the woman over the counter, I said, "Excuse me, do you have like eardrops or something for my ear because I've got an earache?" And the woman said, No. You cannot get eardrops from the pharmacy. You need to go to the doctor, to the hospital. And I said to her, okay, so what? This woman basically walks me, takes me to the doctor, waits for me whilst I am being seen to by the doctor. See, we're talking about the pharmacist. Takes
Only
me
Japan.
to the doctor, waits for me, and then takes me back to the pharmacy, gives me the medicine. Hello, David. And it's just, what the hell? Another. Not as crazy as this one. I was looking for a coffee shop in like a tiny little like Inaka countryside sort of Japanese town, no? And I just went into a little shop, and there was a man in there, and I said to him, "Is there a coffee shop around here?" And he said, yeah, there's a coffee shop. He closed his shop and he walked me to a vending machine.
I have a story as well.
What the hell? What's
you
the
hear me?
story? Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. We were in this restaurant. I don't know. I'm gonna plug a restaurant now here because my Japanese teacher at the time, we were learning a bit of Japanese, and she told me that there was this restaurant that is like a family restaurant. So it's Japanese food, but it's presented in a very Western way. So it's got tables. It doesn't have table service. It still has a Japanese way of serving.
They're called family restaurants, actually.
Family restaurants, yeah.
See, family restaurants.
It was called Jonathan's.
Yeah, Jonathan's.
And anyway, I went with my wife and with my brother-in-law. And my brother-in-law at the time was a chain smoker. He used to smoke a lot. Another thing in Japan, actually.
Does he not smoke anymore?
Diverting a bit. They do. He doesn't smoke anymore, no.
Oh wow!
But
sorry. That was like a revelation to me.
In Japan, they actually have like these designated smoking areas everywhere you go. You cannot smoke on the street. They have these smoking areas. And he used to have to go out to that smoking area and sit amongst the locals smoking away. And I forgot what I was going to say. And we were there, he ended up in that restaurant in Jonathan's, and we were talking in in Janito, in English and Spanish. In Gibraltar, we speak a mixture of both. And we just sat there at the restaurant. He would get up and smoke and come back in and get up and smoke. And as we were leaving, we were paying, because in Japan, they give you this little receipts. They put it in the middle of your table in a tube. And then you pick up the receipts and you go to the entrance of the restaurant and you pay there at the till. And we were there at the till queuing up to pay. It was our turn next, actually. And this young woman, Japanese woman, and this old Japanese man run up to us, and they're like, excuse me. My father here, he's overheard you speaking, and he wants to know where you're from. And we had learned how to say Gibraltar in Japanese. So in our best Japanese voice, we said, Jiburarutaru. And he was like, Jiburarutaru. Ja, which I think is far, no? Far away. Like, ja,
good.
Or good. No, that's in German. In Japanese, I think. Well, he was saying it was far away. Very far away. And he was like, far away. And we're like, yeah, it's very far away. And then he went to the counter. Behind the counter, they have like these sweets and different things. And he got a lighter. And he gave it to my brother-in-law. For you, a present. And the woman in behind the counter was like, what? And we were there to pay. So we paid. I'll pay. He'll pay now. He'll pay now.
Crazy, these things, eh?
It's like, oh man.
I mean,
it was an experience.
Like Andy Stubbs says that he's not surprised because it's one of the most friendly, like helpful people in the world, and it's true. You know, I've had so many kind people go out of their way to help me. Like, it's one of the reasons why I travel around Japan so much, because I feel safe. No, like I feel that I know my way around. I can get from A to B. I feel that it's a safe place. Those sort of thing. Nicholas is in the house also. Nicholas, lost in translation. Definitely. I think he's referring to the story of the vending machine.
Yeah.
Because a bit crazy, you know, these things. Oh my goodness.
And vending machines. The vending machines absolutely everywhere.
Don't forget to subscribe. If you're not subscribed, gotta say that now. And if you haven't already, then perhaps you might want to give it a like. Yeah? I think so.
2.
Why not? But yeah, if you have any questions, please let us know, guys. David, I've always heard Japanese people are nice and helpful. You know what? I can also speak about very few minor experiences that haven't been very nice. I mean, by not very nice in comparison to like my country, no? But in comparison to Japan, I've had some interesting. Maybe we can make another video in the future. And Sarah says that it feels very safe even at night in Tokyo. By the way, Sarah appears in some of my vlogs. She traveled with me last year or the year before? I can't remember now. She traveled with me
so many times.
And her children, and her daughters appeared in some of my videos. Hey, LMA Pika 32. Japan is awesome just for the pocket.
What's a pocket rocket?
I'm guessing pocket Wi-Fi, you know? And the Kit Kats, of course. Well, have you tried the Wasabi Kit Kat?
No, I have not. Did we try that one in our review?
Actually, me and Jeremy, when I first started the channel, we did like a comparison of Spanish or European and Japanese and British
Kit Kats. Specifically.
So you can go back like 3 years or something and you can find that. Hey, Andy Stabs. Oh my god, I know. It's not just Andy, eh? It's all of us that can't move out.
Introverts are cool.
It's crazy. But yeah. had some more videos. I don't know what I've done with them. I have the video here of your bus trip that you said.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if it appears.
I don't know. Look, the guy's wearing like a weird hat thing, like a handkerchief, and then it's got like blinds, like bamboo blinds, and you can't see it in the video, but the top of the bus was like the top of a temple, so it had the wooden like shingle things, and then I don't know how to explain it, but the bus was funny.
Yeah. I mean, Japanese buses. Definitely, Japan has the best transport system in the world. Actually, I would agree. Japan has the best transport system in the world. Although I went to South Korea, and Seoul's metro, the actual trains, are better than the Japanese ones. But the stations and the network and the punctuality is definitely better in Japan, from my experience.
It's insane. In Japan, it's insane compared to like the UK travel bus train system. In Japan, it's like, we're very sorry, we're running late, and it's literally a minute late that the train has arrived, and they're sorry for it. What in the world?
Actually, when I first met Andy in the Hub, which is like a chain of British pubs, but I would say that really there's very little that's British about it. Not like. But it's a chain of British pubs, and basically we're gonna meet our friend Drew, another YouTuber, in the Hub pub, and I was gonna meet Andy there also, and I ended up giving him the directions to the wrong hub, and I sent him, I don't know how far I must have sent him, but he appeared like maybe half an hour later, huffing and puffing, like, you've sent me to the wrong place. I felt really bad. I mean, to be honest, I'd had a few beers by the time when I was messaging him, no? So, but it was all good. So, where's everybody from? I know that Andy's from the States. I believe. Are you LMA Pika from Hawaii? Or have I just invented that? I probably have invented that. Yeah, tell me where you guys are from. Your wife is in the chat also. We arrived 1 minute late to the train platform. The train was long gone, yes.
Yeah,
I mean, not
well.
only 1 minute, but just 30 seconds is enough to basically lose it. In fact, there's a few stories now of people. Basically, if the train is late, the train station can give you a ticket to prove that that the train was late, so that when you get late to work. Because in Japan, if you basically say, I'm sorry I'm late, but the train was late, they won't believe you. No? So basically, you need to go to the train station, and they will give you a special ticket, which is proof that the train was late, because your workplace won't believe you. Because that's how punctual the train is, no?
If the dog eats your homework, does he also have to write a letter that he ate your homework so they believe you?
I don't know, any Japanese people in the chat who can answer that question. Oh my goodness. But yeah, did you have any culture shock? Hey Yambo.
For me, the biggest culture shock, apart from how punctual everyone was, how respectful everyone was, how quiet everything was, it was how clean everything was. There was hardly any rubbish on the floor anywhere. In the middle of Tokyo, it's like a busy town, cars everywhere, and not a single drop of rubbish. And then in Tokyo, in this place, I can't remember where you said I was staying, but we went out to this restaurant, just walking distance from the hotel, and there was like a guy, an old man with a broom, sweeping up the road in the middle of Tokyo. He was just, I don't know if the guy had come out from his house and he was sweeping up the main street. I don't know what he was doing, but just with a normal, bamboo broom, just sweeping up. And it's just that they take cleanliness and everything being looking nice very seriously.
I think the word is mindfulness, as in not mindfulness in plan like doing like meditation, but mindfulness, being mindful of those who are around you, like making sure that things are clean, you leave things better than you got them, that kind of thing, no?
Yeah.
Hey Yambo, where are you from? Yambo?
From Yambo.
Yambo. But anyway, I'm gonna go back a little bit because some of you are new to the chat, and basically earlier on we're doing like a little talking about some of the places that Jeremy has visited. Jeremy visited about 12 years ago, and I was saying that things have really changed in 12 years, like really changed. For a fact, to begin with, when Jeremy first went, there was no Google Translate or Pocket Wi-Fi. So it was a very different type of trip.
Or smartphones.
You can see that I'm going red, no, from the alcohol. Doesn't matter. It's all good.
You shouldn't be hosting a show and drinking, surely.
Why not? It's Friday. Was it Friday or Saturday?
It's Friday.
It's Friday night. My favorite retired person job in Japan was the dudes employed to sweep up the deer poops as they landed on the floor in Nara. Actually,
pick up
not only that, but Sarah and I,
sorry,
we saw, what was it, in a train station? They were like changing a light bulb or something, and there was like 7 people. Like one person holding the ladder.
That's a joke, isn't it? Though?
No, this is true.
How many Japanese people does it take to change a light bulb?
There was like loads of people. There were like 6 or 7 people changing just one thing. But that's about like herd mentality? No, it's all about like basically
helping each other out.
If loads of people do it and help each other, you can get the job done quicker. I think, anyway. So, yeah. Ooh, one of my headphones has run out of battery, so I've got to charge it up.
Cold.
Yeah, the beginning of the stream didn't go very well, but I think now we've got the hang of things a little bit. Later, guys, gotta go. Take care, dude.
Bye.
Take care. Fixing a locker. That was it. Fixing a locker. I forgot what it was. I knew it was something, but I just couldn't remember what it was. But I remember we were both walking through the station and we were like, there's 6 people fixing one thing, and it was literally like I said, it was literally one person holding the tools, one person like doing the screwing, the other person holding the ladder, the other person holding the torch. Not like that. It was impressive, to say the least. But definitely impressive. By the way, don't forget that Jeremy, I just put Jeremy up there. Jeremy's Twitter and Instagram is Bardock Germs. And a reminder also.
No, this side.
Me.
Keep getting it wrong.
You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter, although I'm a lot more active on Instagram than on Twitter, as a Ninja Monkey Guy. Especially when I'm traveling around, I do take quite a lot of photos in Japan, that sort of thing, no? So, but definitely, it's warm, or is it the drink? Is it the alcohol?
It's warm. It's warm tonight.
This should be a drinking party. I give thumb up. Thank you for giving me a thumbs up. The Japan countryside is amazing. Get out of the cities to see the real Japan, even an hour out of Tokyo. This is what we were saying before. In fact, I'll put it on the screen again because Andy has just mentioned this, and I absolutely love. Let me just find it. I absolutely love if it works. There you go. No, that's not it. Those are the geishas. I don't want to see the geishas right now. What? Okay, those are the geishas. Everybody knows what a geisha looks like.
Not really, because there's geishas and then there's the evolved version.
Here we go. That is in the lake in Nikko, and you can see how beautiful and how different it is from like the cityscape. No, cityscape. I can't talk. That's the bamboo forest. Everything started to play all of a sudden. Oh, stop it. I read Nin Hamon Ki Kai. What?
Your handle could be seen as.
It doesn't say Nin Hamon Guy, does it? I hope not. Let me check.
You're gonna have to expand your channel and review Spanish ham. Here we have Pata Negra.
Ninja Monkey. Okay, for those of you who don't understand, Hamon, the J. Let me see. Can I point at it? Where is it? There. Jamon in Spanish is ham. I never thought of that. It's okay. Jambo, where are you from? He says apology for the bad English. You know, Jambo, we all have to
bad English. It's okay.
Start somewhere and try our best, and you're obviously trying very hard. So, well done, Jambo. Oh, Jambo, apology for the bad English. He said. Can you hear the music in the background? Is it playing?
Oh, because I'm not listening to the stream.
Okay. You can watch it later. What were some of the other questions I said we were going to talk about?
Well, I have another funny story. Well, I don't know if it's funny, if anyone will find it funny, but in Japan, I was quite tall compared to the locals. And people used to stare at me a lot, like especially small kids, because I was very different. And there was this one time in Tokyo, actually in Disney Tokyo, they were selling these genie from Aladdin puppets, and there was this one that was like a tiki, like a one with sharp teeth, and it looked a bit creepy. And I put the puppet on, and I turned around to my wife, and I was like, "I am going to eat your soul," with that voice. And then when I turned around, there's two Japanese girls, and they were like, "Kawaii, kawaii," trembling there, like. And I thought they were saying kawaii, and I'm like, "Oh, they think I'm cute," but apparently it was scary. They were saying scary. It's quite embarrassing.
I can understand why.
I am going to eat your soul.
Do you have any plans of going back?
Since I went the first time, I stayed without doing a lot of things that I wanted to do because it was just so much, and it was 3 of us, and we all wanted to see different things, and there was a lot that I didn't do, and I'd like to go again, definitely. Since I went, I'd want to go again, but I want to go with kids as well, but it's a very long flight, and my kids get bored after half an hour trip in car. So
I mean, maybe the sacrifice is worth it.
I don't know. I definitely want to go again. I mean, eventually.
It's. I think it's quite a kid-friendly place. I see lots.
Yeah,
of people.
Definitely. There was a lot. I saw a lot of things that I didn't think I wanted to go before I had kids, because I thought, well, I'll never come here again with kids. But then being there, there's a lot to do with kids.
There's a lot to do with kids, but not just the fact that there's a lot to do with kids, but that I feel that it's a kid-friendly place. I'm putting my other headphone in because this one's running out of battery. I mean, I went with, well, I met with my friend and her kids, and I think that she would agree with me, that Japan is quite a kid-friendly place. Now, Jambo lives in Gibraltar. ¿Hablas español, Jambo? He says that the English is not very good. I don't know. I live in Gibraltar. How many times have you been to Japan? I have been to Japan. It depends on how you count how many times I've been to Japan. How many stamps do I have on my passport?
Your
How
thumbs.
many like visa stamps do I have? About 13. I think I have a problem. Some people smoke. I go to Japan.
And drink. I'm joking.
I can drink. Actually, this is a lot stronger than when I first brought out of the boat. I thought, oh, I'm gonna look so cool drinking some alcohol, and now I'm suffering because it's really strong. Actually, I don't know if you can see it in there. Well, let me just refocus. Can you see the black ice cubes? Well, you can't, but they can. Yeah, those whiskey cubes that I didn't know existed until only now, because I got given a gift of whiskey with some whiskey cubes, and they're made out of stone, and you put them in the freezer, and they're supposed to like retain the cold. But I'm not a fan of whiskey, so I'm having it with amaretto.
Amaretto?
And this stab says, Nico, one of my favorite places, the scenery and temples. Wow. Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm supposed to be going back to Japan in the summer. I've got a feeling it's not going to happen. So I have itchy I can't talk.
Itchy knees.
Itchy feet. Just thinking about the fact that I'm probably not going to go to Japan.
Oh.
But hey, I'll get there soon. Andy also goes to Japan like maybe once a year, once every 2 years. It goes quite a lot, I know. How many times has Andy been to Japan? Look, Sarah says that her kids slept all the way on the flight. You'd be surprised, dude. Do you have the chat open, Jeremy?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
It's just on top of my laptop, and my laptop is starting to glitch.
Glitch.
I hope it doesn't affect the
I'm sure it'll
stream.
be fine. Actually, I was gonna put a little video, just as a little. Let me just get it set up. I had it ready before, and for some reason, I don't know why, it's disappeared. Where are you? Let me find it. Yeah, basically I made this little video which was like a little review of everything that I did in 2018, and I want to do one of 2019, but I thought that I can play it for you, so here it comes. I'm gonna do some proper Sakura exploring. In the background that we have some sakura, some beautiful sakura, snowing down on top of those people. was a little bit overconfident, thinking that that was a start. I think that this is a start. I'm guessing those mountains there might be North Korea. I might be wrong, I don't know. I really didn't want the beach day to end. It's been so much fun. And I forgot that the sun goes down so early here. It feels like it's going up instead of going down. Okay, so I just thought I'd show you that. Basically it's one of my older videos, but you can see that there's so many things that so many places that I've visited, no, and so many things that I've seen, and one of the coolest things about traveling is meeting people, no, like those are my memories that stick with me, you know. So yeah, meeting people is definitely my highlight. And Andy says that he was supposed to be going to Nagasaki in September. Well, let's still be hopeful. I mean, I'm supposed to be going mid-July. I don't think it's gonna happen, but perhaps September is a better chance, no, for you to go. Nagasaki is awesome, by the way. It's really, really cool. Qué video tan increíble. Gracias, muchas gracias. But yeah, check out some of my videos from Nagasaki, Andy. Actually, in Nagasaki there's a really cool onsen called Unsen Onsen. It's probably my favorite onsen in Japan that I've been to, so it's for sure definitely worth the trip. It's maybe an hour and a half bus ride or an hour bus ride from Nagasaki, so it's definitely worth it. Jeremy is not convinced, but I can tell you that apart from a couple of food related incidents, Japan was a perfect culinary, different enough to keep kids interested with basic sightseeing. One thing that I learned about traveling with Sarah's kids is that as long as there's chicken nuggets at McDonald's, you're okay.
It's not that I'm not convinced. I was actually thinking, and once my son falls asleep, he would sleep the 12 hours for sure. And actually, one of the favorite dishes that I make quite often is Japanese curry, katsu curry. So I think they'll be fine in that aspect. It's just that when he's not okay, when he's bored and stuff, it does become quite interesting.
I think, in fact, Jeremy was a person that sort of pseudo introduced me to this, and by pseudo introduce it means that he didn't actually introduce me to this dish, but he spoke so highly about it that I ended up searching for it like a crazy person when I went to Japan, and that is the sweet corn soup.
Oh yeah, it's delicious.
Actually, I have some here in my house. Like you can buy some like instant, not like
Right.
sweet corn soup. It's not as good, but it's still, it hits the spot.
I forgot about sweet corn soup. I haven't
Yeah.
had that in a long time.
You were the one that told me about it.
Yeah. It's just not something that you can find anywhere else.
Have you ever had sweet corn soup, guys? Anybody had sweet corn soup?
Japanese sweet corn soup. So the questions that you gave me, are they going to come into play at any time, or?
Well, let's see, because we kind of gone off the beaten track, with all these things. So let me find the questions. We had a few technical difficulties at the beginning of the feed, but I think that things are working out. Let's see. Questions. What questions did I send you? Oh yeah, what's your first impressions? You already spoke about that one. Oh yeah, how long did you travel for?
As in what? To get to Japan?
No. Like,
Or
how long
in
were
Japan?
you in Japan for?
2 weeks.
Okay,
2
that's
weeks and 2 weeks and a half, actually.
quite a good amount of time, really.
We had 3 weeks, including travel time and to get there and all that. So.
And where did you go in Japan? I know Tokyo. I know.
Went to Tokyo, Akihabara in Tokyo as well, Kyoto. We went to Mitaka for the Ghibli Museum, Nikko, and Shinjuku.
Okay.
We were gonna go to what's it called, Mount Fuji, but we didn't have time. We just didn't have time, and we were completely exhausted from all the walking that we did.
Actually, about the Mount Fuji, if anybody ever wants to go to Mount Fuji, go to somewhere like Hakone, or go to one of the 7 lakes, I think, of Mount Fuji to see Mount Fuji. Don't go to Mount Fuji.
Yeah.
Because I made the mistake once of actually going to the 5th station of Mount Fuji as part of like a tour, and it was a mess, because literally you don't see Mount Fuji because you're on Mount Fuji. And it was cloudy and it was terrible. I've climbed Mount Fuji since then, and I've seen Mount Fuji in many different places, from many different places since then. So you do want to see Mount Fuji, go somewhere else. Don't go to Mount Fuji. We have the question: ¿Cuánto tiempo te llevó a aprender Japón? O aún aprendiendo japonés, ¿no? Aún aprendiendo. Nihongo o totema musukashi desu.
はい、大好きです。
今日、日本語勉強します。
はい、はい。
I study Japanese. Well, I said every day, but I lie. I don't study Japanese every day. Digo que japonés es muy difícil y estoy aprendiendo muy poco. The government here in Australia saying possibly no international flights till early next year.
Yikes.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a bit crazy, but we just gotta sort of get on with it. Look, just think of it this way: just save up some money, and then you can have a better trip.
True.
No? So the other questions that I had for you. What inspired? What was the reason why you went to Japan? By the way.
The real reason.
The real reason.
I was, and I'm still obsessed with anime. So.
I knew it.
And Japanese culture in general. I love the art styles. The wave picture you have there. It's one of my favorite paintings. screen prints.
Actually, I'll show you something. Wait, I'll show you something. Because the chair that I'm sitting on.
Ooh.
Check it out. Oh.
Sugoi.
Cool, huh?
I've actually got a print. I bought a print over there in Japan when I went of that painting. 1 second, now I have to show you.
So yeah, I got this. This is one. I don't know what it's called. One of these things that you hang like in the entrance of like a house. I guess Japanese house. Nice. What's that? Dory? Is that Dory? Nemo? What the heck? Did you add it, or did your daughter add it?
I can't hear you. Wait 1 second.
Good night, Sarah.
No, it's a sticker.
Ah, sticker. Oh, it's hot. But
So I bought that from the actual museum.
yeah, I knew that you were going to say because of anime. And you know what? I think that probably like, I'm guessing at least 50 or 60% of people go to Japan because of anime, you know, like initially. I used to be a huge anime lover. I mean, I do love my anime, but I don't really follow series. I like more movies, you know. But definitely, probably like anime. Dragon Ball probably like put that little spark in me, that tiny little spark. Let's see what other questions I have. Oh yeah, you've probably answered this already. The funniest thing that's happened to you.
I mentioned 3 funny things that happened. The turn down service thing, the old man in the restaurant, and the genie thing.
The what?
The genie puppet. I shall eat your soul. If anybody didn't hear that and they want to hear it again, then I can.
What was I'm trying to think of something funny that might have happened to me. Funny, maybe it could be putting this one in back in. Something that's funny that happened to me. Well, I went into a store and let's just say it wasn't kid friendly. And by it wasn't kid friendly, I mean I went into the store not knowing really what it was. But once I was in, I thought, you know, I'm in. I might as well like browse. But let's just say that each floor that you went up became less kid friendly. I mean, I don't know if that's funny or not, but that's kind of. I'm saving lots of dollars now, so when I can travel, it's going to be big, awesome. That's what I like to hear, man. That's exactly what it. I mean, what other funny things? I mean, I've met lots of really interesting characters. Damn it! I should have got the footage because I've met some super interesting people. This guy. Oh, my thing's gone, so I'm gonna put you on by yourself.
I still see you on the stream.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah. Oh, it's back. But we're gonna finish soon, I think, no?
Yeah, to you.
6 a.m. No, we're still here.
If you have any questions before we start wrapping up. And if you'd like to see this sort of thing again, not necessarily with me, but Ninja Monkey over here, I'm sure he can set it up with other interesting guests. Right? Be my guest, be my guest. I'm back. Uh-oh. Can you hear him? Can people hear? I think the next one will be even better because we are more practiced. No. I don't know. People are leaving. There's only 3 people left. Oh no. We're losing them. Quickly do something fun.
Can you hear me? I think now they can hear me. Sorry about that. Basically, let me just explain a little bit. I have like my more pro camera that I've been using, and the quality is a lot better. But the batteries run out. So I've learned today that I've got about enough for an hour and a half of filming, and now I'm back on my webcam, which isn't too bad. But it's not the best, I guess. So yeah, I think we'll carry on, and I will finish this off, and when we finish this off, we can
drink.
Oh, thanks, Andy. Seriously, Andy, it's I have to say that probably live streams are fun. Would you agree with me, Jeremy?
I enjoy them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been fun. It's been a bit stressful, especially at the beginning, trying to get everything working. But it's all a learning curve, no? And it's been fun, like trying to get things together. I don't know if you saw this, but I put together this little game. I made this. Well, if we play again, will you say the same answers? That's a question.
Ask me different answers, but now the pressure.
I can't remember now.
The tables. No, the tables are turned now. Now you have to come up with answers on the fly.
Yeah, right. Let's see.
So the pressure's on you.
So I think that I can get it to work, because they said that they couldn't hear me before.
Yeah,
so I'm going to try and make sure that this time they can hear me. Are you ready for the game? So this is like basically, Andy, what happened earlier was we were playing this game. I don't know if you saw it, but apparently they couldn't hear me. So I'm going to try and make sure that this time, just like a little test before we finish things, because people are dropping off now. It seems,
nice.
But it doesn't matter. Let's go for this. And shooting ninja stars.
Oh, got one more viewer. Welcome to the live stream. Take a seat. What time is it there? It's 9. It's Friday night. It's now 1:40 a.m. Early. I'm gonna play some Animal Crossing now until probably 6 a.m. I think there's only 3 people. Andy is still around. Andy, can you hear Ninja Monkey? Who's talking? No?
Now you can hear me, can't you? Yeah. Yeah, so that was our little introduction that we got together with funky game show music. So I think in the next few sort of streams in the future, I want to play this game again and hopefully get it working properly, because I think it's a fun game to play, and I think that I can even it's a fun game to play, and we're gonna try and get all that working properly, basically. But it's actually 20 to 1 in the morning. We're trying to figure out when the best time for a live stream is, and I think that we got the most viewers around 1 a.m. What did you say, Jeremy?
I don't know. I didn't check the time.
Seriously,
yeah.
I was.
We had 11 at one point.
It was 11. Yay! But you know,
still not bad.
It's the first live stream really that I've done, and we're on lockdown, and obviously you have to think out of the box and do things slightly differently, and this is what I'm doing differently, right? It's important to keep safe, keep away from people, and follow the guidelines of your local government, whatever they're saying, or your council. And it's also important to keep your family and your friends safe. And it's sometimes difficult to be away from your friends, but you have to, no?
Yeah.
I guess I think that for the next few weeks at least, whilst we're on lockdown, I'm going to try and do a little bit more like live streaming. Hopefully invite a few people on the show. Jeremy is welcome back, obviously. This has been the first test stream. We've had a few teething problems, although, to be honest, considering that we did have some teething problems at the very beginning, we managed to solve them quite quickly, I think, and get things running quite quickly, you know.
The game had no sound, apparently.
The game had no sound. No, that's the best part.
I didn't hear your epic music. You worked so hard.
What?
You composed that piece yourself.
I need to. What? The game had no sound.
5 days.
I can't deal with that. Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. We'll play around with the game music next time. It doesn't matter. We'll play it. It will become a feature of our chats. You know, like
next chat will just be
definitely.
Game show. The whole thing.
But it's okay. It's okay. It's the first time and it's hard work. Yeah, those live streamers. I don't know how they do it all the time. It is hard work. I guess it's sort of hard work, but at the same time, it's also hard work to edit like a vlog from scratch. Well, like there's a lot of work that goes into it. But this is on the fly, so you have to be talking, and at the same time, you have to be looking at the edits and that kind of thing.
A lot of live streamers have their own crew and they have their own camera people.
One day.
Techies.
One day. But yeah. Andy, what's the weather like now in Australia? I'm guessing it's going into winter. Like, is it autumn now? Yeah, Drew is the king of live streams, to be honest. Drew is another YouTuber, and he's really good at live streaming, basically. He's had lots of practice, though.
We'll get there one day.
One day. I still have a little bit more, actually. I'm not going to pour any.
How much is...
I'm going to close the... Actually, I've drunk quite a lot.
This water bottle it's metal and it wasn't full of liquid, but it has a metallic taste to it.
Does it?
Yeah. Rusty water.
Rusty water? I hope
drink. Welcome to the dark side.
What is it? What did it say?
It says
Is it Star Wars?
Darth Vader. Yeah, it's Star Wars.
Tomorrow is my mum's birthday. Or better said, today is my mum's birthday. Happy birthday, mum.
Happy birthday, Nathan's mum.
But I don't know what I'm gonna do because I wanna buy. What did you do for your dad's birthday?
My dad has an IOU because I tried to. I was gonna give him a voucher and stuff so he could buy his own stuff. But anyway, they're not really shipping much, and
That's the problem. No.
I just thought, look, you have an IOU, and I'll give you something when I see you again. And we did like a virtual birthday. My mum baked him a cake, and then we had like a birthday happy birthday.
My
song
mum calls me today and she says, because it's my birthday tomorrow, and normally we go for like lunch or for dinner together. I want to invite you to a Hungry Monkey. And I'm like, Mum, but that's like the other way around. It's your birthday, you know, like.
Hungry Monkey is nothing to do with Ninja Monkey.
No.
By the way.
Hungry Monkey is like a food delivery service here in Gibraltar where I live.
Everything here is monkey based.
Hey,
So
I started it, eh? With the monkey thing before Hungry Monkey.
Did you? Did you really?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
far before. What the hell? I just got a message saying the stream is cap bitrate is higher than the recommended bitrate. How can that be a bad thing?
You are over streaming.
You're over streaming, right?
Stop over streaming.
Who is in the chat anyway? Can we see?
No, there's 3 people here. I can see.
But I don't know who.
I think
who
Andy
is
is still around.
Andy's still around. We're gonna start wrapping things up anyway.
Can we see who's?
I'm gonna figure it. I wanna see.
Can't see who's here.
Wait a minute. I know who it is. Me,
you, and Andy.
You and Andy.
So at one point there was 2 viewers, which was you and me.
Participants. But anyway, I think it's let me just finish this. I need Drew to give me some tips on streaming because he makes it seem so easy, to be honest. And that's just really cool. But there's some looking back at the chat, there's a few new people that I haven't actually seen before. So, for example, I don't know who Yambo was, but he was very interactive. Somebody who's speaking Spanish. And then there was somebody called, I know Andy. LMA Pika S32 I've spoken to a few times before. Nicholas, I know. Joy Gonzalez, do you know that person?
I think so. Rings a bell.
Do you know Joy?
Yeah. It's just you and me in the chat now.
Rings a bell. And then yeah, it's just me and you, doesn't matter. And then there was somebody else. But who was it that I saw before? David Katie Notes. I don't know who that is though. I know who Katie Notes is now that I think about it. Or maybe no, I don't know who Katie Notes is. But yeah, it's been fun. I think I don't know who's in the chat now. I don't know somebody's joined us. It's been really nice to have a little bit of interaction. It's
Just saying welcome.
Welcome to the chat. Autumn here around 18 degrees average. This is kind of similar actually to what Andy says. I mean here it's kind of goes from 17 to 23, you know, I would say.
Yeah.
I think so. 17 to 23 degrees, something like that. But yeah, it's what's the time? 10 to 2. Let's do it. Let's finish at 2. Make it a nice 2-hour stream.
Okay. We need to make the last 10 minutes interesting.
But yeah, we've been talking about Japan, traveling Japan, things to do. We've been doing a lot of troubleshooting also at the same time. Fixing problems, sound issues. It seems it's always a sound, isn't it? It's always a sound, always sound problems more than anything.
Sound is the hardest thing to test because you can see yourself, but you can't really hear yourself properly when you test.
I think we were talking about funny things that have happened in Japan, and I'm trying to think of some funny things that might have happened in Japan, but I can't think right now. What has happened to me that's quite funny? Actually, not funny, but quite a cool story. And that was, I was sitting on a train on the way from Tokyo to Hiroshima, or Kyoto to Hiroshima, something like that. And there was a guy sitting next to me, and he was making some origami. And he was spent the last half an hour of the train ride making hiragana. What's it called? Origami. No? Maybe too much of this. Origami. And he basically made this beautiful crane. No? Origami crane. And as I was getting out of my seat, igualito. Exactly the same. A crane. And as I was getting out of my seat, he gave me the origami that he had made. Another example of Japanese sort of, hospitality. And the cranes, you know the story of the crane?
I think I've heard the story of the crane before.
Actually, I actually still have that crane that was given to me. It's in my living room.
I remember it. Yeah.
The story of the crane is, I don't know if it was a boy or a girl, but there was this, when the nuclear disaster hit Hiroshima, the Americans bombed Hiroshima, and the problem was that it did kill a lot of people instantly, but the main problem was that it created a lot of problems with a lot of people getting cancer afterwards, no, as a result of the radiation. And there was this boy or this girl who had cancer, and there's this sort of legend or story where if you make 1,000 or 100 or 1,000 origami cranes, then a wish will be granted to you. By the way, if I am giving you completely wrong facts, I apologize before I continue with the story. But I think the story goes along something along the lines of, like this legend that if you make 100 cranes, you can ask for one wish. So this girl or this boy who had cancer from the Hiroshima bombs was making the crane, so she wanted to wish for health, but she was dying, or he was dying, and the world found out about this legend. So basically children all around the world started making cranes to send it to this child so that she could reach the goal, of 1,000 cranes. And so it's actually become, the crane has become the symbol of hope.
Did it work?
Let's not end on a bummer.
Way to end the stream.
Did that?
Yeah, because
there's a.
She did actually make the
There's
the
actually,
crane, so
Andy. There's about I would say a 10-second lag between us and the comments, unfortunately. But something that I want to tweak. Hopefully I can get some help from
We don't know how to fix that.
from Drew, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, but basically what I was saying was that so people started sending cranes from all around the like origami cranes from all around the world, to the point that there's so many, and children still send it even now. No, after like 50 years, people still make them and still send them, and to the point that what they do is they get all the cranes and they sort of put them in a with a needle with a string.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in the Peace Memorial Park in Hiroshima, in Hiroshima, there's like an area, like of a museum sort of like area of all these cranes that are sent, and they make like necklaces and stuff like that out of the cranes.
Very interesting. I have an interesting origami story to share with you as well.
Yeah.
1 second. So we were in quarantine here, in like self-isolation or whatever. And
well, like in the last few weeks.
Yeah, in the last few weeks. It was Mother's Day. And we had just come back from Disney, as we do. And
yeah, but you had a bit of a rough time.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, we missed our flight, and then we had to get another flight. By the time we got here, we had to self-isolate straight away, so didn't have any time to buy an anniversary present for my wife or a Mother's Day present. And so my daughter came up to me and said, "Okay, Dad, I want to do an origami flower for Mum for Mother's Day." And I'm like, I have no idea how to do origami. Okay, let's look online. So we started following the instructions, how to do origami, and yeah, it didn't really work.
Let's see it. Wait, put it in the middle. It's okay, it's okay.
I followed the steps, and then towards the end I was like, there, flower.
Origami is it's incredible. There's if you go on YouTube and you search for levels of origami, you'll see, I think there's a video called like 11 levels of origami, and basically you get like these this guy who's basically like one of the best origami makers in the world, explaining different levels of origami. And he starts off making a like a bug, you know, like a umvisho, like a bug, like a cicada bug. Is that how you say it? Cicada? Out of like level 1 is like a very basic like bug, you know, like insects. And then level 2 has a little bit more like detail. Level 3 has more detail, and so on until it gets to level 11. And it's just crazy how level 11 is just ridiculous. Like the antennas, the eyes, and it's all origami from folding, no cutting, and one piece of one sheet of paper.
It looked very simple in the video, but yeah.
Actually, at work, somebody said to me once, Nathan, I've got the next lesson or whatever, like, can you make some leprechaun origami? Like, not leprechaun. Leprechaun was it? It was like it was an Irish like themed lesson, and we made some. What was it that we made?
4-leaf clovers?
No. It was actually a leprechaun with like the hat and everything.
Out of origami?
Yeah, but you try and explain that to like 7-year-olds how to do it.
Andy has left the stream. Bye, Andy. Thanks for
Andy.
joining us.
Andy's a really cool guy. Nice guy. Take care. We'll try and fix the lag and see. But the lag isn't too bad. I mean, it's bad, but it's not crazy bad. I mean, it's less than 10 seconds. It's
Maybe there's lag from, like, there's our lag, and then there's lag when the comment comes out, and then we have to read the comment to reply, so it adds up.
Maybe. But yeah. Who's is there still people here?
There's 4 people on, apparently.
That's one more person. Who are you? Is it your wife?
No, she hasn't said anything. She's probably sleeping. It's 2 o'clock.
Can I see? Can I see who's participants?
I don't know.
See who's a participant. But it doesn't matter.
Guys, say hello. Hello.
It's been fun. I feel like we should do this again sooner rather than later. It's just been fun to do. And midnight is an okay time. I know that some people were saying, "Why are you doing it at midnight?"
Because in Gibraltar it's a bit late.
In Gibraltar, but
we can do two separate streams. We can do one in the afternoon.
But you just wait. I bet you we'll do an experiment. Look, if we do exactly the same thing, like at 7 p.m., I bet you we won't get as much engagement.
Probably not. But we can try. We can do 2 separate streams with the same questions and stuff. And I don't know. It's up to you.
Anyway,
we might have more distractions, kids running around and stuff. But
it's been fun. I've learned a lot from the program. I think it's run quite well. The beginning was a bit weird because even the quality, the upload was really slow, and I really don't know why it was so slow. But
talk to your experienced friend, and maybe he's got some pointers.
I wanna do one stream with my friend who I traveled with to Japan once, to do it in a Spanish stream. He's Spanish dude.
Okay.
It'll be quite interesting to do a Spanish sort of feed, I think. But when do you think you'll go back to Japan, Jeremy?
I don't know. You know me. I don't like traveling. I don't like travel.
Mm-hmm.
I like being at the place. When they invent instant teleportation, then I'll definitely go again.
That would be amazing. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine instant teleportation?
I mean, I'd go right now to Japan if it instant teleportation. We would do the stream from Japan.
Can you imagine?
Is Japan on lockdown?
Yeah. The whole world is in lockdown, dude. I don't know what I did there. I wanted to end the stream, and I pressed the button, and it ended way quicker than when I wanted it to end.
Oh, yeah, we're back.
We're back.
Fooled you.
But fooled you, April Fools.
We're here for another 5 hours. So
you know, like it's a little bit like coronavirus. April Fools. Fooled
Nathan is gonna dress up as a geisha now, and
you stayed at home.
He's gonna do a little geisha dance.
Fooled ya. But yeah. Anyway, I think it's time. It's been over 2 hours. No, the stream. Yeah, 2.5 hours nearly. So it's been fun chatting about things and talking to people online. Don't forget that if you liked this video, maybe it's a little bit late because you should have liked it at the beginning of the video, not at the end. I doubt you're gonna be watching this all the way through. But if you did like this video, give it a thumbs up, and just subscribe to the channel for more streams now that we're in lockdown. Oyasumi Masai. Good night. Thank you, Jeremy, for your help.
Hi.
And end screen coming out now.